his brother-in-law, while the other three fall under the spell of one of the most serviceable villains in the music business, Alan Klein. And oh yes, John just released a solo album where he and Yoko stand naked on the cover. Everybody's upset about that. Sir Joseph Lockwood, president of their record company, pleads, "Why not show Paul in the nude? He's so much better looking." A Beatle publicist tries to look on the bright side. Not only is he a brilliant songwriter, but he's probably done more for the cause of male frontal nudity than any one single show business personality. How could this project get any more miserable? There's also a film crew on hand, documenting every moment. The Beatles are staging their Back to Our Roots retreat for a movie in front of all these strangers in the chilly confines of Twickenham Studios instead of good old Abbey Road. Every argument is captured for the camera, along with all the canned mugging and servile laughter. They have no idea how to end this sorry fiasco until they come up with a brainstorm to play a surprise rooftop gig, their first concert in years. Paul's idea, "Why don't we do it on the roof?" is a typically clever whim from a man who's gotten used to trusting his spontaneous impulses. The Beatles take to the roof on a Thursday afternoon, and they find it stickier than they thought. After the 1, 2, 3 count into Dig a Pony, they stop short because Ringo has to blow his nose. But they sound great. So great, John can't resist saying, "Fuck yeah," in the final minute of I've Got a Feeling. About half the 42-minute performance ends up in the movie. Engineer Glyn Johns wraps ladies' stockings over the mic to keep out the wind. They cut the album versions of Dig a Pony, One After 909, and I've Got a Feeling, even though, as John says, hands too cold to play the chords. He has an assistant kneel in front of him with a clipboard so he can read the lyrics. The scene they imagined might be some kind of career-capping resolution, or at least a big ending for the film, has ended up just hard work on a rainy January day. The Beatles play in front of a bunch of drab adult men who try not to get in the way. No spontaneous Woodstock love-in down below. No panic in the streets of London. No shutting down the city with a flash mob of screaming fans. Just a few curious stockbroker types. Not even many girls, which must have pained Paul. As the surviving Beatles admit in the anthology documentary, they wanted to provoke a showdown with the cops, so at least they'd get a flashy final scene. Maybe get let off in handcuffs, like David Lee Roth in the Panama video. No such luck. The police don't crash in waving truncheons. A very undramatic cop shuts off the power, not even on camera, and that's it. No, that's not how they wanted it at all. They end with Get Back, their third attempt of the day. It's not a tricky song, but with all the wind and rain and exhaustion, it sounds forced. For the album version, they go back to a studio take, recorded 3 days earlier, but edited to end with John and Paul's banter, giving the impression that it's the rooftop jam. Get Back, like the whole album movie project, is a Paul whim that's gone too far. Everybody feels like he's pushing them around, he feels like he's stuck carrying the weight, and here they are in January, with the crew they've come to loathe, further from the goal than they were at the start. In less than a month, the Beatles will be back at Abbey Road, working on a new album, a much better one named after the studio, leaving 29 hours worth of Let It Be sessions to be sorted into an album, which they'll keep working on after Abbey Road comes out, eventually released as a That's All, Folks, Farewell in May 1970. But right now, they're just trying to get through a job that used to come easy. By the final Get Back, it's the end of a winter slog, the camaraderie a little strained, the spontaneity a little labored. It had to be a disappointing moment for all involved, except for the clapping girl. John fumbles for the chords, his hands getting number by the minute. He's done singing or remembering words. George hasn't sung all afternoon, beyond a bit here and there, and I've Got a Feeling. Their breath freezes in front of their faces. Paul probably looks into the future and sees the end of the road. He sees solo careers. He sees his 30s. Married life on the farm. Not spending time with John anymore. All those years, leading lesser bands, saying "take it away" to the guys in wings, not fooling anyone. Jesus, maybe he even sees say, say, say. He sees uncertainty, which is not Paul's scene. He doesn't know how to begin talking.